Okay, this is lesson 4 for Photoshop, starting on page 111. What you'll learn in this lesson, using the selection tools, refining your selections, transforming selections, using the pen tool, and saving selections. So creating a good selection in Photoshop is a critical skill. Selections allow you to isolate areas in an image for retouching, painting, copying, or pasting. If done correctly, selections are inconspicuous to the viewer. If not, images can look contrived or over-manipulated. In this lesson, you will discover the fundamentals of making good selections. Before starting, make sure that your tools and panels are consistent by resetting your preferences. I think we're good to go here. You will work with several files from the Lesson 4 folder in this lesson. So I'm on page 172 now. The importance of a good selection. You have to select it to affect it, is an old saying in the image editing industry. To make changes to specific regions in your images, you must activate only those areas. To do this, you can use selection tools such as the marquee, lasso, and quick selection tools, or you can create a selection by painting a mask. For precise selections, you can use the pen tool. In this lesson, you'll learn how to select pixels in an image with both pixel and pen selection techniques. You'll start with some simple selection methods and then progress into more difficult selection techniques. Note that even if you are an experienced Photoshop user, you will want to follow the entire lesson. There are tips and tricks included that will help all levels of users achieve the best selections possible. Using the marquee tools. The first selection tools you'll use are the marquee tools, which include rectangular, elliptical, single row, and single column tools. Some of the many uses of the rectangular and elliptical marquee tools are to isolate an area for cropping, to create a border around an image, or simply to use that area in the image for corrective or creative image adjustment. So in Photoshop, we're going to browse in Bridge. And we're going to navigate to the PS04 Lessons folder. And it looks like we're gonna open the PS0501 done file to open the image, the done one, right here. And so at the conclusion of this lesson, this is what our final product will look like. Okay, the completed image files, you can leave the file open for reference, or I'm going to go ahead and close it. So this looks like an ad here. So File, Close. And then I'm at the top of page 113, return to Bridge, and this time we're going to open 0501. And we're going to go File, Save As. And we're going to save it in our Lesson 4 folder, but we're going to name it PS0501_work. Choose Photoshop from the Format drop-down, and it's already there, and say Save, and OK. So select the rectangular marquee tool near the top of the Tools panel. So right here, when you point at it, that's the rectangular marquee tool. If you don't see that, click on the little arrow there in the box, and then you can see the others that you can choose from. So we want the rectangular marquee tool. Make sure that Snap is checked by choosing View Snap. Yep, mine is. Let's see. Position your cursor in the upper left side of the guide in the car image, and drag a rectangular selection down toward the lower right corner of the guide. A rectangular selection appears as you drag, and it stays active when you release the mouse. You'll now apply an adjustment layer. So I'm going to, it looks like just over the door part. So I'm going to click here and drag to here, about roughly. And I let go, okay, and it still stays selected. You'll now apply an adjustment layer to lighten just the selected area of the image. You are lightening this region so that a text overlay can be placed over the part of the image. If the adjustments panel is not visible, go to Window Adjustments. Okay, mine is right here. Okay, and click on the curves icon right here, and notice how the names change right here. Here's curves. I'm going to select the curves icon. The property panel appears, okay, right here. To ensure consistent results, first click the panel menu, which is here in the upper right corner of the properties panel, and choose curves display options right here. In the show amount of section, select pigment, and ink, right here. Choosing pigment for corrections makes the curves adjustment more representative of ink on paper. Click OK to close the curves display options dialog box. Okay. If you do not see the entire properties panel, including the input and output text fields at the bottom of the panel, click and drag the bottom of the panel to expand it. So here's what they mean by that. Right here, maybe we can't. It's all right, but right here you can click and drag this too to make that bigger. Click and drag the upper right anchor point straight down. The upper right shadow. Straight down, keeping it flush with the right side of the curve window until the output text field reads approximately 20, or type 20 into the output text field. So till it's 20. See how the right side there, I'm at 27, 18, 19. Okay, and I could also just double click there and type in 20. Okay. The rectangular selection in the image is lightened to about 20% of its original value. Because you used an adjustment layer, you can double click on the curves thumbnail in the layers panel to reopen the curves panel as often as you like to readjust the lightness in the rectangular selection, and that's right here. Okay. All right, top of page 115. Now go back to the layers panel, click the box to the left of the text layer named poster text. Now go back to the layers panel, click the box to the left of the text layer. Oh, right here, poster text. Right here, so we can see it. Okay, so we can see the eyeball. The text appears over the lightened area. Choose File, Save to save this file and keep it open for the next exercise.